a cleanup. Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Farley Augustine, shared photos of progress at Storby, Pigeon Point and Swallows Bay, where he said beaches will be allowed to remain open. He also confirmed that URP staff are among the cleanup crews with no extra funds being spent. The Division of Food Security will now manage heavier cleanup at Magdalena to Lambo and Speyside. Marine specialist Alvin Douglas, who operates in the area, says the volume of seaweed he is now seeing on Tobago's west coast is unlike anything in recent memory.
It's just becoming more unpredictable, and whatever happening is being multiplied. So we usually see some sargassum coming. We're just seeing a whole lot more sargassum. We usually have the change in wind, but we're just seeing it happening a little bit more often and a longer period of time.
And those were your 6 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at the top of the hour, right here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Surprise, I'm Ryan Baychu and I'm back on Morning Brew this morning. Jason Williams still couldn't make it back into the country just yet, so I'm hanging on for him just one more day. But it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Happy to be here on Thursday as we head towards the end of this week. Lots to discuss over the next hour and a half. Of course, later on in this program, we'll have Ian Wason coming up with the morning shot. Lots to discuss also there when it comes to West Indies cricket and the type of week West Indies cricket has had. But let's dive right into it. Trinidad and Tobago is really at boiling point some weeks, and I feel like one of these weeks has been, we've been through one of these weeks, and this is sort of transferred from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit all the way to this week. Let's pull up the TNT Guardian newspaper's front page, where Marvin Gonzalez, who's the People's National Movement's chairman, says he's not on board taking issue with the composition of the new state boards, plural, I should rather say, claiming there's an ethnic imbalance with it. This is perhaps a legitimate cause for concern that not just Marvin Gonzalez and the PNM have, but also that many people across the country perhaps also has. The people of this country can have whatever concerns they wish to have about the present administration, about the previous administration. On April 28th, 54% of the electorate who were eligible to vote, 54%, they had their say as well. However, I think it's in the context of what Marvin Gonzalez was trying to say didn't quite add up in the statement that he made. And he said, when I look at it, I wonder if we're living in Bangladesh or Delhi. That's a pretty far reach for the point that he's trying to drive home. We understand the point he's trying to drive home. And he says that it couldn't happen under former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. And he went into how cabinet notes and how state boards were appointed under the former Prime Minister. And he also labeled Comimbert as Corporation Soul, the whole 9 yards. But there's a stretch in this, and Dr. Winfred James put it best. You don't have to listen to me, but you can listen to an expert or an analyst like Dr. Winfred James. We're headed towards independence, and we've come so far as a nation that such rhetoric in driving home a point of claims of ethnic imbalance really don't help our nation, really don't help, especially on the back of, and I thought a few of the daily newspapers, including that of the TNT Guardian newspaper, handled the Narendra Modi visit very well, and the social challenges, the social situation, the divide that we sometimes tend to pretend that we don't have. I thought all of the daily newspapers handled that Narendra Modi visit very, very well. And here we have again this story of race popping up on the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian newspaper. And I thought Winfred James's comments last night were very sobering in the context of how politicians really should treat sensitive issues like race in this country. We'll try to get it, we'll try to bring it to you at some point. I don't think we have it just yet, but that's okay. But interestingly, on page 5 today, just beneath that lead story from Akash Samru, Iowa George is named on the new NCC board. Chairman Peter Kanhai will focus on financial transparency. Here's why I bring up that other story, because there's a much deeper issue to these state boards than we sometimes want to have conversations about. And we will, and we should have conversations about the ethnic makeup of these state boards. These state boards are supposed to be, albeit they're positioned as state boards, but they really ought to run as independent from the government as possible. But if you look at that story, let's just take, for instance, the NCC State Board, and you read through that story, and you see Ainsley King is back, and Beverly Ramsey Moore is there, but then you look at an institution or an organization like the NCC that was established in 1991, and you read nearing the end of that story that 8 audited reports, financial reports, have been submitted since 1991. That's what, about 34 years. And then you begin to really understand that there is a much bigger issue. In fact, Chairman of NCC, Peter Kanhai, says that that's his #1 priority. He could have said that my #1 priority is to ensure that Carnival grows and the culture grows, etc., whatever. But instead, we've had this organization since 1991 that has only submitted 8 financial audited accounts. Since 1991, the people of Trinidad and Tobago have been putting taxpayers' dollars, their tax money, into such a state board, into such an organization for various cultural events. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago have only on 8 occasions understood and have had their monies accounted for. That has to cease. That is a much greater issue. And I'm not saying that the ethnic makeup of any state board is not a legitimate issue. But what is happening at these state boards and what has come up over the last 3 months to 6 months, the issues that we have seen at state boards in the past, those things cannot be swept under the carpet. It must be addressed because at the end of the day, these state boards are using taxpayers' money. And in many instances, in too many instances, taxpayers don't know where their monies are going, or at least it's not being accounted for. And every taxpayer, every person in this country has the right to know where their taxpayers, where their money that they're paying in taxes are going. And I think that's an issue that we also need to confront. If we want to talk about the ethnic makeup, there is a place for that conversation. And the government and the administration today should be asked those questions. And they should be made to account for why they've placed whoever they've placed on state boards. All legitimate questions. But let's not also forget that there are serious issues with some of these state boards that also have to be addressed, including but not limited to where people's monies are going. It should be in black and white. This is a country that has a history and a tradition and laws that ensure that once people's monies, which are taxes, are being used, it has to be accounted for. 8 financial reports since 1991. Let's check out the back page of the TNT Guardian newspaper as well. I don't have it. David Naked, former Trinidad and Tobago footballer, he will broker a deal, or at least try to broker a deal when it comes to the Soca Warriors naming rights. David Naked, of course, the parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs. This is another interesting one. How far should the government get involved in this renaming of the not renaming, but the Soca Warriors name, this rights deal when it comes to the Soca Warriors? David Nackett will step in today to meet with both parties, including the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, and as well as Selwyn Melville, who has registered the trademark that is the Soca Warriors. The debate goes far and wide. The debate is on social media. You can check it out there as well. However, the debate becomes even more interesting when a government official puts their hand up and says, we're about to get involved. Now, it's all well and good if the parliamentary secretary and a former footballer like David Nackett as well, who has represented this country and who has played football at the highest level, and David Nackett has a vested interest in Trinidad and Tobago football. He must. He played for the national team. He was a very good player. So he must have a vested interest, and we welcome that. However, what are the limitations to the government's involvement in this? And when I say limitations, it will be very interesting to monitor from today onward this meeting that David Nackett will have with Selwyn Melville and the TTFA. What are the limitations to this involvement? And I'm talking particularly financial. Should the government be looking at any financial investment in the name Soca Warriors? Let's see where that conversation lies. Jason Williams will probably be back. I might come back. It'll be interesting to react to it, because that could be a question that splits our society. Whether that money, and I'm not saying that the money should not go into football, but we have a World Cup qualification campaign that's in its final stages starting in September. And if the government is going to invest any money, it probably shouldn't be in a Soca Warriors name. It should be in our players, ensuring that they have all of the resources that they need to try to qualify for that World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico next year. Enough said about that. We'll come back to that when this story further develops. Let's also check out the briefs today, where there are a number of stories that you can read in the TNT Guardian newspaper, including firearms dealers wanting the legal age to own guns be reduced to 18 years of age. Very nice picture there as well, with the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Randall Karim, having a toast with Ambassador Didier Chabert, who is the French ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, on National Day. That's Bastille Day in France. That was on Monday. And also the cancer survivor, the cancer fighter, I should rather call him, Christopher Mohammed from Naparima College. We did a story on him on Monday. Radica De Silva did a story on him on Monday, and he's grateful since then for the love and support that he has gotten from Trinbagonians as he battles stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. We continue to pray for Christopher. We continue to wish him very well. Let's take a break here on The Morning Brew. When we come back, Anthony Wilson joins us this morning, as he usually does. He has a very interesting Business Guardian this morning, and we'll be talking to him about what's inside the Business Guardian after this.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Get a loan at Bremont. The process is simple. Fast and efficient approvals. Receive funds within 24 hours once approved. And no penalty for early repayment. Located at 4 Gallas Street, Woodbrook. Remember, we like to lend.
Some of us like to test limits. But there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Massy's termination policy under scrutiny in today's Business Guardian. I want to welcome to the program business consultant Anthony Wilson. Anthony, welcome back. Great to have you.
Morning, Ryan. Morning to all of your thousands of viewers and listeners.
Let's go through the lead story of today's Business Guardian newspaper. You can pull up the front page, Sheldon. It deals with Massy's termination policy, a Massy disruption and a shake-up at Massy Motors and Machines, as well as employee churn at the financial arm. Walk us through this lead story, Anthony.
Yeah, this is an interesting story that I came upon really just quite by chance. The basis of the story is basically there on the front page. Massy has several managers and directors of Massy have left the company in the last 18 months or so. The employee churn at the financial arm is quite significant. I'm told 26 people have left Massy's financial arm in the last 18 or 19 months. And then there are issues about the legality of Massy's termination policies. So those are basically the takeaways from the story.
You also have a very interesting story, and I love the fact that the Business Guardian has found a way to connect Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessa's announcement that she will move to bring legislation to Parliament to increase the legal age of consuming alcohol to 21. Let's deal with that one first. You can deal with the ganja and gambling a little bit later on. But this also, in the week and a half since that announcement was made, various arms of different sectors, different industries in this country have come out and voiced concern. Not so much they're anti the proposed legislation, but they have some concerns because it requires deep thought to ensure that the legislation doesn't have any gaps in it. And the Business Guardian also, we look at the Owner Dealers Association, who issued a statement on Saturday, just wanting to ensure that the legislation has proper consultation. Walk us through the Business Guardian's perspective on the proposed increase in age limit from a business perspective.
Well, I don't know that the Business Guardian has a perspective on the issue. What I personally believe is that if somebody is old enough to vote, they're old enough to have a drink. So that is my position. I would say that marijuana is a different issue. I do agree that that smokers of marijuana need to be older than drinkers of alcohol.
But Specific to your story, Dr. Vanis James is calling for, because I want to touch on the commercial aspect, but also the social aspect, because you're talking about the social aspect of it. Let's talk a little bit about the commercial aspect. Dr. Vanis James is in the Business Guardian today, and he's one of the people who's saying that there really ought to be a balance. The balance of both commercial and social ought to be factored in to this proposed legislation.
Yes. Yeah. So that's quite correct. I certainly don't think you want a situation where you pass a law, you increase the age limit, and you have a whole lot of more young people drinking and smoking.
Finally, Anthony, I want to talk about page 7. The refinery committee has been announced, and business groups in this country are welcoming the move by the Kamala Persad-Bissessar government to have this committee. In 4 months, former energy minister who heads this committee, Kevin Ramnarine, says he should have a report on the Prime Minister's desk.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. The government clearly wants to put its own stamp on the refinery, on the reopening of the refinery, because the reopening of the refinery was one of the major promises made by the government in the election campaign. Yeah, so, you know, it's a good move. Kevin Ramnarine is a sound person. I think he would do a good job with the committee.
All right, Anthony, we'll have to leave it there for now. I encourage everyone to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper. Lots to read in the Business Guardian this morning. Anthony Wilson, business consultant. Appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, Ryan.
Coming up after the break here on The Morning Brew. When we come back, we're going to be discussing a number of issues, including what is happening in Gonzales, what is happening in Belmont, what is happening in Port of Spain, St. Anne's North. The crime there, we've seen an uptick over the last week, especially over the weekend, but more than that. Will the UNC administration answer concerns about Marvin Gonzalez's concerns when it comes to the ethnic makeup of some of these state boards? Philip Edward Alexander, the PEP, or former PEP leader, joins me next.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, building value every day.
Science calls it AMPK, your body's built-in system for burning fat, balancing blood sugar, and fueling energy. Berberine Plus naturally supports AMPK, helping you feel better, live better, be better. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, powerful results naturally.
The biggest business-to-business event of the year is here. The Trade and Investment Convention, July 17th to the 19th, at the Center of Excellence, Macoya. It's the Caribbean's biggest business-to-business, with over 300 amazing exhibitors from Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the world. Register to attend for free at www.ttma.com/TIC. Connect, discover, grow at TIC 2025. Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Welcome back to the Morning Brew, everyone. Happy to be in your company. I'm Ryan Beecher. I know that you might have expected Jason Williams this morning. Unfortunately, Jason didn't quite get that flight, or at least his flight is today. He communicated either one of those, but I'm happy to be in your company. He will be back tomorrow morning. Let's talk a little bit about a number of national issues and filter down to constituency issues. Philip Edward Alexander is on the program with me this morning. He's a minister in the Ministry of Housing. Philip, good to have you back. Thank you very much for being here. Let's start with the front page of today's TNT Guardian newspaper. I know that we were here to discuss other issues, and we will get to that, but let's start with the front page of the TNT Guardian newspaper this morning. The PNM chairman, and by extension the People's National Movement, have concerns about the ethnic makeup of state boards in this country. Their concerns are shared by other citizens in this country. Your view?
Morning, Ryan. Thank you for having me. Good morning to your viewers. His remarks were unfortunate, to be polite. It was inflammatory for no reason. He's cherry-picking boards. There are other boards. Why he didn't talk about the NCC board? It was almost 100% Afro-Trinbagonians. I mean, it's been ridiculous. Under the PNM, there were boards that were 100% Afro-Trinbagonians. Trinidad is not a monocultural society. There will be times when, as you're picking, because we aim to do 10% of the boards yet, and as you're picking people to get on boards, and you're going for the people that best suited through qualifications or experience to deliver the right mix of what the Prime Minister ultimately wants these ministries to deliver as purpose of the boards are the actionable fronts of the government's policy. And sometimes you're going to have this happen that nobody else has ever been able to get away with making such insightful remarks, as inciting racial conflict in the country. Marvin Gonzalez is desperate. They are wild. They are creating fires. And I just want to say this because, and I know why they're doing it. They're trying to distract from the fact that they left a lot of corruption in their wake and that we are uncovering a lot of corruption. Faris Al-Rawi said 10,000 CPAP workers get less. That's not a correct number.
Let's stick with the state board appointments for a minute, and we'll get back to the rhetoric that Marvin Gonzalez would have spoken about yesterday. So you're saying that there is a belief, anyway, that every state board, and I know that you said that 90% of the state boards are yet to be filled, there is a belief that almost every state board, or maybe perhaps people want it, maybe it's not a belief, perhaps Trinbagonians want every state board in this country to reflect Trinidad and Tobago. You're saying that's not always possible.
But it's not. You're not packing a box of Chinese food. You can't say some pork, some beef, some chow mein, some fried rice. You can't. What you're dealing with are people, men, women. Sometimes you're going to have the mistake where you're going to have 0 women represented. We have a large population of disabled people. They should be represented on boards. Where do we stop? Should the Syrian community start to make noise? The Chinese community start to make noise? Should there be an association of red people and Douglas? We're getting into the silly part of the thing. Because if you look at all of the boards, you realize what Marvin said was nonsense. But there will be some boards that may come across like that, and it happened under the PNM. And if they push this rhetoric, we're going to have to publish boards under the PNM, but we don't want to engage them in race talk.
That is not where the politics should be. And I thought that after the PNM's Chortyong experiment that we moved beyond race. How come we end up back here?
Let's talk about the composition of the boards as well. You mentioned something very interesting, that it's based on qualification. So are you confident that those boards that have already been installed, that the best possible people, even those that have been made up of 80% of one particular race or 90% of one particular race, are the best possible people to be leading those boards?
If you look at the NCC board, that has the right mix of cultural, musical, entertainment experience, you know that those people are going to be able to deliver. You have to work with all of the people. I do not envy the Prime Minister. She has hundreds, perhaps thousands of names in front of her. And she has boards that she has to put people together on. Under the last government, we had situations where one person was on 4 and 5 boards. She's trying to avoid that scenario. So you have to say, okay, would Ryan Bechu do best here or here? And keep moving these names and faces around based on qualifications, based on mix of experience and otherwise, to get the board that will deliver. That's not final. I mean, this is your board. But if along the way you need to tweak, you need to change out, you could. But she is right now trying to get all the boards up because the boards are important to operate in the ministries.
Also important for these state boards. As we have seen in today's TNT Guardian newspaper, the boards are one part of the concern, Philip, because also the audited accounts of these boards are also very, very behind in some instances. I read about NCC a few minutes ago. 8 audited accounts across 33 years or 35 years, or 34 years rather. Are you confident that under this administration, that taxpayers will understand where their money is being spent when it comes to these state boards?
A lot of the board members under the PNM are guilty of criminal...
But this is not...
no, but
I also want to say that this goes back way before the last 10 years as well.
Okay.
I just want to put that on record.
Okay, no problem. But as a board member, you have fiduciary responsibility to the same taxpayers you're talking about. And unaudited accounts are important. Yes? So let's get that on the table. Why was that ignored? If you were in government for 10 years, if you inherited some boards that didn't have accounts, bring it up to date. Get the situation organized. Why wasn't it done? Why wasn't it done? And a lot of the cases, what we're finding is creative bookkeeping. I can't say more to that. I want to give you information this morning I'm sitting here and I'm holding on to, but I can't because I know some things are in the hands of the Attorney General and I have to leave that alone. But I want to tell you something. Trinidadians all over social media asking when you're arresting, when you're jailing. It's not like that. The process is you gather evidence and you give it to the police. You give it to the Director of Public Prosecutions and they take it from there. There has been a massive, massive amount of corruption in the last 9.5 years. And every rock we lift up, we're finding more and more abuse of the taxpayers' purse, and that is what we're dealing with right now, while constituting boards, while getting policy on the ground. The Prime Minister has a clear vision for the country we are delivering. So all of these distractions are distractions. We could focus on, you wanted to talk about the crime situation. I heard you talking about it. I don't know if you mind segueing into that, because that is something that is really critical to a lot of people in the country. We did zero about securing the borders. We bought a lot of boats and parked them up in Chagaramas. We did nothing to secure the borders. They don't make guns here. I've been saying that for decades. We don't make guns here. So when people are killing one another with guns, where are those guns coming from?
We'll get to crime in just a few minutes, because I do want to touch on, I want to bring the conversation down to your constituency as well. Your constituency is not only being affected by crime, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, but also the ongoing CPEP issue is also affecting your constituency. And when I say your constituency, I know that you...
I'm the shadow MP.
Yeah, exactly. So you are the shadow MP for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. That issue of the CPEP contracts affects your community every single day, and the people within your constituency who were working for CPEP. Do you feel that the CPEP issue was properly handled from the start, and the saga continues up until today?
Again, I don't envy Honorable Minister Barry Padarat. I don't envy him when he took a look at the books. You see, okay, I'm lucky. I have Honorable Minister David Lee and Honorable Minister Anil Roberts. It's three of us. So we dealing with the HDC tsunami of issues. But you have to say, how do I stop the bloodletting? What happened in CPEP? I have documents that was sent to me by attorneys. You renewed contracts for years, a week before the election, on nothing other than political patronage. I'm just saying this, right? Because you have to understand this. The value of the contracts, the work being done, and the money being filtered down to the workers, the discrepancy is huge. So he had to, this is triage. This is economic triage. He had to stop the bleeding because at the end of the day, our government had to run and find money to pay bills. And we're hemorrhaging money, paying political patronage. He had to deal with it. Could it have been done better? In a perfect world, we all wish yes. Now, I know the Honorable Minister of Local Government, Khadija Amin, you spoke about her. She has URP taking in workers. They put in people to work. The Prime Minister wants everybody gainfully employed. She wants everybody who have a job to own a home.
But
These
it's also
are the mandates.
A very challenging time, Philip. It's a very challenging time for this bleeding to stop. And I know that you will probably say it's never a good time, and you are right. It's the July-August vacation. This is one of the most expensive times of the year for any parent. Beyond Christmas, with the new academic year.
Immediately, she released policies to reduce the cost of books. She's releasing grants. The Minister of Education said, we're not changing any of the books, hold your hands, or any books that could pass down through the family, could sell your books. They're doing everything in their power, but you have to remember we're trying to right a shaky ship, and it's 2 months, barely 3. We just got into office. It's like getting into office in a house on fire. You have to out the fire first.
Have any of your constituents, I know that you are not the elected MP, but you are still very much involved in the constituency. Right. And you'll have budget consultations, in fact, on Sunday. We'll talk about that in a minute. But have any of your constituents who work for CPEP come to you and express concern in Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West?
Well, I mean, we still have the issue of the softened blow. They have a full month's salary in their hands for this month that they're in right now. So any concern is going forward from August. And I know that Minister Padarat, and I know that Minister Amin, and us in HTC, every other ministry that is capable to give short-term jobs, contracts, that sort of thing, working very hard. We're giving opportunities to the people who are perpetual workers at the bottom rung. We're giving them an opportunity to elevate themselves and come and get the contracts themselves, so they don't have to work for $120 a day. So we're working on a lot of things simultaneously. And change like that doesn't happen immediately as much as we would like to. But you have a government that's not going to leave a single soul behind. I'm sure of that. I'm sitting here telling you this morning, the Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Visesa has a heart for people. And if she knew that there were people going to bed at night hungry, she would wake up and go and find a way to feed them. So the situation about the jobs, they've softened the blow up to July. If the problem is not solved in August, who knows? Maybe they'll soften the blow in August.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you as well. How fast are you hopeful? Because this matter goes to court tomorrow, which is Friday. Justice Margaret Mohammed will rule on it tomorrow. How hopeful are you? How quickly can this actually be resolved? Because let's remember, these are workers, as you quite rightly pointed out, they work on a fortnightly basis. They work on a monthly basis. They don't have a guaranteed salary on a month-to-month basis.
You're absolutely correct. And you know what's sad? If the government before had cared about them, because I want to know, we have 150,000 Venezuelans in this country gainfully employed. If we have two companies, URP and CPEP, making work for 10,000 people who can't find jobs, where are these 150,000 Venezuelans working? Is Maduro paying us? Let's take the money from Maduro and farm it out to the CPEP workers. I'm just saying to you, I know that sounds ridiculous, but we have to have these conversations, because when you hire foreigners and you're doing that and you say you want to help Venezuela, but you have to help home first. You dislodge a lot of Trinbagonians and then you're trying to pack them into CPEP.
But business analysts have seen, Philip, that it's cheaper labor to hire Venezuelan than it is for local. And that's true for the United States as well.
We're dealing with CPEP at $120 a day. And when you're talking about, you say that these people are gainfully employed, they're not. If I was to put you to live on $120 a day right now, you wouldn't know how to do that. Because just transportation and food for the day will eat up that money. Let's be real.
No, you're making a valid point. So let's talk about the reformation of CPEP. Some political commentators believe, and they have written it in various newspapers in this country, that, okay, we understand and we all agree that CPEP and URP are both programs that really are not efficiently operated and running at optimum level. And so there is an urgent need, or a critical need, if not urgent. There is a critical need to reform programs like CPEP, programs like URP. Will the UNC government be transforming and reforming such critical programs? The UNC government has committed to ensuring that CPEP workers are no longer just cutting grass. There are opportunities for elevation to live a better life for CPEP workers and URP workers.
Absolutely. Now, I want to stay in my lane. CPEP is not my responsibility. The Honorable Minister Barry Padarat, and it's in good hands. And he's very close to the Prime Minister, and I know that she's very close to this issue. So I know that they will, in their good timing, put out the information as they put out that information, because I know, because as a citizen, I heard that CPEP has to return fit to purpose. And what Patrick Manning had announced when he was Prime Minister, what we were sold as CPEP, was an organization that would take people who can't get jobs for whatever reason and retool them, train them with new skill sets so that they could go out into the marketplace and get jobs, and in the meantime, you would make work for them. Because we have about 4 organizations in this country cutting grass and cleaning drains. We have plenty money being spent on that. And you'd realize that's not the best use of this human resource. I say that, and I say to you, that no other government has been put under this much of a microscope 2 months in office. You get a honeymoon. We've not even gotten that honeymoon.
Well,
and I just want to say that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Public Utilities, under who CPEP falls, are working assiduously to resolve this issue. They are not disrespectful of people's needs. They are very clear that these are citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and we have to make sure at the end of the day, everybody gets to go home comfortable, sleep well in the night.
Right. And on the point of this honeymoon and the people wanting change from this government, it is on the back of the campaign that this government ran that showed the urgency. It was the message of this government while in opposition that there is an urgent need for change in this country, that some of the issues, including crime, including the economy, including the wages, that this country needs change. And so the country is now snapping at the government's heels because
it's not the country snapping. You see, that's it. The PNM is leading a couple supporters, but the reality is most people know and see, and you're feeling it.
I think I understand what you're trying to say, but I think when it comes to let's just take a topic like crime, a lot of people are impatient.
Okay,
with with the previous administration.
And rightfully so. Nobody could sit here in all good conscience and talk to the survivors of violent crime in this country and pretend that it is not an urgent issue. And we have a man that looks like Hulk. We have Minister, the Honorable Roger Alexander, as the main man in Homeland Security. But we have Minister of Defense, Wayne Sturge, and we have Minister of Justice, Debesh Maraj, and all honorable ministers. And we have a full team working at this. But I wonder if I could use an analogy. It takes time and distance to turn Titanic around. That's where we're at. We're trying to turn it around. So we've initiated the turn, but it's going to take time to reflect it. It's going to take time for you to feel it. I remember when Bratton had come here, the Commissioner of Police from New York City, and I was a communication advisor to our National Security Minister at the time, and he said to us, he took the communications team aside, he said, listen, your job is the hardest job because change is happening today, but the public won't feel it for 2 weeks, and you have 3 weeks, and you have to manage the perceptions and manage expectations of the public who wants massive change.
Let me ask you very quickly about, you talk about crime. Let's talk about crime within the constituency that you ran for, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. Over the last week, we've seen an uptick in homicides there. What needs to be done to arrest that situation, albeit in the interim? We had Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara sit in that very same chair that you are sitting in. He talked about covert operations. Are you seeing any evidence that the police are doing all that needs to be required to arrest that situation in the constituency you ran for?
We have a substantive commissioner of police within days of being in government. That tells you how serious this government is Went to the parliament, ratified the appointment, got the man in the job, he's there. Last night I was at the official opening of the TIC, Trade and Investment Seminar, and I spoke to very senior business people in this country. They're saying they're feeling the change already. They're seeing a relaxing in the purse strings. The public is spending money. There's some confidence in the economy. People are seeing that. How does that stack up against the fact that you're still going to have murders taking place? Well, until we get all the guns off the street. And we just put a commissioner of police and the government is going to empower him. You have a man. I remember doing radio interviews in the lead up to the election with then the DCP Roger Alexander and ESP. And I said to him, I said, there are very few people in this country as respected as you and Johnny Abraham. And both of them part of this government. Johnny Abraham has been an advisor. And there are few people as respected as you all with the amount of police work knowledge that you all have. So you have a Minister of National Security, Homeland Security, that understands policing, that understands the needs and the challenges of the men and women on the ground. So the line between need and delivery is going to be shortened, and we have a substantive commissioner of police. We're supposed to see results in quick time. Again, I want to tell Trinidadians, nobody is saying don't be anxious, don't be in a hurry to see change. We promised a lot of change is happening. But always the big issue, crime, the big issue in economy. I said when they interviewed me on nomination day, I said the election is being fought on money in your pocket. Once we solve these two issues, it's smooth sailing.
Talking about the economy, on Sunday you will head back to your constituency to hold pre-budget consultations. Tell us about what we can expect on Sunday.
In the midst of all of this, thank you for the question. In the midst of all of this, the Prime Minister summoned all of us. I tell you, I don't even sleep anymore. The Prime Minister summoned all of us to a caucus. Go back to your constituencies. Talk to them. Find out what they want in the budget. That is the feedback. That is the feedback loop. And we want to know, how are you feeling on the ground? Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West is not my constituency. I'm the shadow MP, but they're seeing me on the ground, the Fonsaman Bridge. They're seeing me in Belmont and Gonzales dealing with people and jobs, trying to sort out issues in the Savannah. There are a lot of issues that affect the people in Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West. Last night I spoke to a gentleman who was a former independent senator. He said, listen, I waited 12 years to get my road fixed. If you fix it, I will come and campaign for you. And it's because people just desperate for representation. But they know what Philip will fix it means, because when the people in the constituency call me, I can't advertise my successes like I did when I was an activist, because now I'm a government minister, and now if I get things done, it is through the Honourable Minister of Public Utilities, or through Barry Padarat, or through the Honourable Minister of Works, Jolene John, or through the Honourable Minister of Local Government, Khadija Amin, through the Honourable Minister of Housing, David Lee. We have a lot of powerful, capable ministers working round the clock to deliver. Our pre-budget consultation in Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West is in the VIP lounge of the grandstand, but we're doing 4 constituencies together. We're doing 2 Laventils, East and West. We're doing Port of Spain South and Port of Spain North. And we're in the lounge that could hold a couple hundred people well, but we have access to the whole grandstand if 4,000 people come, because it's what? 35,000 people in our constituency, and if people turn out in their numbers, we have the ability to shift gears and do it in the grandstand itself. But we're there from 10 a.m. We will have security, parking, light refreshments, everybody invited. Come and talk to us. Talk to us about housing. People blowing up my phone. I need a house, I want a house, I have a problem. This is the forum. Come and talk to me there. I will have a panel of workers taking names and information, support staff. They'll be able to get back to us and say, these are the things we need. We have to get it packaged and back to the Prime Minister. Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. This is a snapshot of their needs in the budget.
All right, 10 o'clock on Sunday morning at the Queen's Park Savannah's grandstand, the VIP section. You can meet Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander there. Minister Alexander, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it as always.
Very much for having me, Ryan.
Looking forward to having you back on soon. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Built to Last has a massive sale on roofing materials, including standing seam. Invest in durable roofing sheets at unbeatable prices. Choose our supply and installation package and enjoy huge savings on your roof. Quality materials, quality prices, quality workmanship. Our name says it all. Built to last for roofing that is built to last. We will not be beaten on price. Enjoy free delivery and free roll forming on standing seam and guttering on site. Call us now, 355-7703.
Food Basket. Food Basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A remush, I wanna shop, fair go view. Food Basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food Basket. Marketplace Shogunas, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Mom, Dad, this is Trevor.
Hi. He's no Kieran. Back up.
Swing? That's why he crossed the road. It was funny when Kieran said it.
Oh, who could that be?
We're like the parents who don't miss your ex.
I can't believe Kieran is in the neighborhood.
CG United. Good like that.
Advance your career and increase your earning potential with the University of Bedfordshire's MBA program at CTS College. This UK-accredited MBA is globally and ACTT recognized and is the most affordable in Trinidad and Tobago. With 6 intakes per year and the option to study 1 unit at a time, you can complete the general MBA or one of 6 specializations in 12 months. And with flexible entry requirements and payment options, students with various backgrounds can enroll. Contact CTS College today and find out how you can get $12,000 off.
Tired of mosquitoes and flies invading your home? Insect Screen Specialist keeps the bugs out while letting the fresh air in. Custom fit screens, sleek designs, perfect for Caribbean living. Visit our showroom at Munich Hardware, St. Joseph, or call 354-3012. Insect Screen Specialist. Fresh air, no pests.
Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill you.
Hey, pretty lady. I see you looking for some hot sauce. Boy, move it. I have a man. See you. So you don't want no money,
Attention, valued shoppers. We are thrilled to celebrate 34 amazing years with you, our loyal customers. A huge congratulations to all our winners.
Hey, don't make joke. I know we're not shopping spree.
Snacks we buying, mommy.
Look, boy, come on, eh? Well, look how I just win a Caribbean getaway now. Rock back. Girl, I know we're not shopping spree, eh? Well, come on, help me now. You don't have a man? Later. Nah.
It's Southern Food Basket's 34th anniversary extravaganza from July 1st to August 31st. Shop and enter for a chance to win incredible prizes, Caribbean getaways, staycations, shopping spree, and the ultimate grand prize of a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara.
Welcome ASP Ari Russell to the program for our weekly police and news segment. Your boss was here on Monday. I gave him a glowing review, if you don't worry. Good recommendations. Happy to have you back, ASP.
Well, pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. On behalf of our Commissioner of Police, our Deputy Commissioner, and First and Second Division officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Kidnappings have been back on the rise, we see, over the last week. Let's talk a little bit first, if you can give us an update on the latest kidnapping.
But firstly, let me say, I want to err on the side of caution when I say back on the rise. Back on the rise may put some fear into the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It is not back on the rise, as far as I am aware. You know, we would have to really look at the statistics, but it is not back on the rise.
But we saw some kidnappings over the last week.
Definitely. And which kidnapping are you actually referring to?
Miss Sati Carol.
Okay. That is the situation where the husband
That's correct.
Well, you know, at this time, investigation is taking place. The anti-kidnapping unit is working, they are working hard and pursuing all leads and any information that the public have that could assist us, we welcome. We have the anonymous lines, 555-800-TIPS. You can even call 999. And we have our social media platform, our WhatsApp. And you can also go online and make a report or give the information. So, you know, we welcome the public and we want the public to work with us to help solve this.
Also want to talk a little bit about home invasions, ASP Russell. That we have also seen reports of over the last week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. What would you recommend to people who live in fear of home invasions, one? And what can you tell us that TTPS is also doing to meet the demand of people and to really stave off their fears when it comes to home invasions, particularly at night time?
Well, the first thing the TTPS want to do is we are always in the community. I mean, up to yesterday, we had our town meeting in Maraval District. And we want to encourage the public to come out to these town meetings so that you can see how you feel. For instance, persons would speak about the home invasion, but a lot of the times, when the home invasion happens, you have to look at your environment. Some persons may do the research on you, they may do their intelligence. Nothing stops them from doing that. They may know the times, they may know your routines, the work time, the gym time, the lime time. They would know your surroundings. So you have to make sure your houses have proper locks, camera systems. We could even employ the services of one of those monitoring companies. I don't want to give any free advertising, but one of those monitoring companies is about target hardening and crime prevention through environmental design. So some persons might find, I don't want to cut the neighbor's lot next door. But that person isn't living there, and when that bush grows high, it provides a cover for a person to hide and wait on you. So you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to put things in place, mitigation circumstances, like probably have a safe room in your house. One of the things that you have to do as well, I would also encourage persons, don't try to take all the matters into your own hand. From the time you have a suspicion of something or you see somebody strange, contact the police.
Let's talk a little bit about those town hall meetings, and because I think it's important that you advertise it as much as possible, because it's important that people show up to these town hall meetings. This is actually direct face-to-face interaction with the law enforcement that people hope protect them.
Yeah.
When might be the next one? I'm not sure if you have it. You can send it to us. We will be sure to air it.
Definitely will. Marva will be hosting their second town meeting on the 30th in Paramin. We're going up into the communities, and we will have our second one in Paramin. But we want to encourage members of the public, because yesterday, the one that we had, the turnout wasn't as how we expected. And we know that we have been trying to get into the communities. We do use our social media platforms. We do go into the neighborhoods and we would circulate the flyers. Some persons may not be aware. There are some persons who may not be interested for fear of whatever. But even so, if you come and you make that connection, our officers there will provide you with their personal contacts. So even if you don't want to come to the station to give the information, secretly after the meeting, sir, give me your number, please, and I would like to speak to you. We would definitely, disseminate our contact numbers to you.
Well, ASP Russell, we appreciate you being on the Morning Brew as well. I know it's a short stint today, but we'll be happy to have you back next week as well to talk even more about policing in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much for being here.
All right, it's a pleasure being here.
Let's head to the 7 o'clock news. When we come back, we'll have a lot more for you.
Good morning. I'm Jen Sullivan with Headline News on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. Former Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez is defending a $3 million contract awarded to a company with alleged PNM ties, saying it was necessary to address a water contamination crisis in Point Fortin and unrelated to the April 28th election. He was responding to Minister Barry Padorat's claim that a $3.1 million sole select contract was awarded to a PNM campaign manager just days before the election. Gonzalez said tests in February revealed that 1,900 Salazar Trace residents were exposed to bacteria-contaminated water, and Obzen Construction Limited was awarded the contract for its ability to respond swiftly. Gonzalez said the contract was awarded in March before any election was announced and dismissed Padorat's suggestion that it was politically motivated. CNC3 News asked Gonzalez what his affiliation to the company. However, the former minister said it's not a crime for a company to have links to a political party.
If one of the directors of Obzen is associated in any way with the PNM, that is his constitutional right. Because you can't be accusing the PNM of one thing when at the same breath you're seeing directors of state agencies being the wives and the spouses of government ministers.
Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlatt is assuring teachers and principals who worked at the Ministry of Education Vacation Revision Program last year will be paid. He says teachers are being paid weekly with approximately 50 payments outstanding. His clarification comes after former teachers who asked to remain anonymous told CNC3 News that some of them are owed up to $9,000 for working 24 days. After several calls to inquire about her income, she and other teachers who are owed received an email in January from the CEO apologizing for the delay. But 6 months later, and they are yet to be paid. When contacted, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Martin Lumpkin, called on the Education Ministry to make the payments. He said when the idea of the revision program was presented to the union, the former minister, Dr. Nyan Gatsby-Dolly, said the money was allocated for 3 years. Those were your 7 a.m. headline news. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have a bit?
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hey, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Where does disease start? It often begins silently. No pain, no symptoms, just inflammation quietly damaging your body. Our choice is food, stress, pollution, all feed inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the root cause of many modern diseases.
You can't go back in time, but you can start addressing inflammation before it becomes disease.
Omega XL is a natural inflammation fighter clinically researched with over 30 fatty acids and no fishy aftertaste. Available Caribbean-wide at pharmacies and health food stores. Call 1-868-225-0410 for more information.
Welcome back to the Morning Brew. In the second hour, we have a packed show for you. We're going to be hearing from Hema Rambiki soon shortly. We're also going to be talking to our behavioral consultant on the power of endurance, Johansi Ayadike, shortly. But first, I also want to tell you that we have a very interesting morning shot this morning with Ian Wason on the back of the West Indies' dismal performance on Monday. He has Baldat Mahabir coming up at 7:30 a.m. You won't want to miss that interview from the former Cricket West Indies. Well, back then it was West Indies Cricket Board Director on what he has to say about the administration of West Indies cricket. Who is and who is not to blame on that West Indies debacle, as they would say. But for now, let's bring in Johansi Ayadike for this week's behavioral, power of endurance segment. Do we have him? Okay, actually, we don't have him just yet. In fact, let's do something to think about, social media, and something to think about in the interim. You can follow us on social media at CNC3 News, also at CNC3 Television on Facebook, as well as you can send us an email at tmb@cnc3.co.tt. Let us know if what you would like to to see on the show, we're at CNC3 TV on Twitter. Use the hashtag TMB on our social media platforms so that we can know that you are talking directly to us. Also, download the CNC3 News app where you can get the latest breaking news from all of us here at CNC3 Television. We have all the latest developing news from here at home, across the region, and internationally as well. The Guardian newspaper is also a great source of information to get all the latest information on. Let's take a break here on The Morning Brew. We'll be right back.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Sumitomo, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Couva, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Is high blood sugar the root cause of diabetes? Most people think high blood sugar is the problem. The truth, it's inflammation. Insulin resistance is the root cause of diabetes. Reducing that inflammation is key. Omega XL is a natural option. Not fish oil, but a patented, green-lipped muscle extractor with over 30 fatty acids, including EPA and DHA. Clinically studied, backed by over 30 years of research. Stay tuned.
Omega XL. Power your health.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance, but we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza, Endeavour, Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Crack the science of stronger hair. New Fructis with keratin, protein, or biotin in reloaded systems. Up to 72 hours frizz control, 48 hours definition, or 72 hours thicker looking hair. New Fructis by Garnier, naturally.
Eye care tips for Seaview Optical. Eat well. Good eye health starts with the food on your plate. Nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, lutein, zinc, and vitamin C and E might help ward off age-related vision problems. Quit smoking. Makes you more likely to get cataracts, damage to your optic nerve, and macular degeneration. If you have tried to kick the habit before only to start again, keep at it. Wear sunglasses. The right pair of shades will help protect your eyes from the sun's ultraviolet UV rays. Use safety eyewear. If you use hazardous or airborne materials on the job or at home, wear safety glasses or protective goggles.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Time for our weekly mental health matters with Johansi Ayadike, behavioral change consultant. Johansi, welcome back to the program. Great to have you. Today we'll be discussing power or endurance as a question.
Morning, Ryan. Thank you for having me. So let me pose it to you first. Which one do you prefer, to have the power or the endurance when it comes to any activity or even life?
I will go with simply endurance, to be honest. I believe in consistency.
Inconsistency. Okay, and tell me why. Why you prefer consistency?
I feel like whatever you have to achieve, whatever your goal is in life, that if you're not consistent at it, no matter how talented you might be, if you're not consistent at it through hard times, through good times, through difficult times, through the challenges, I don't think you're going to get at it. I think consistency really, in the end, is all that matters.
Okay, right. And Ryan, I am agreeing with you to an extent, but I'm agreeing with you. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. Endurance and being consistent so boring, right? It have no excitement, right? I have to do the same thing all the time, and this is the sentiment of a lot of people, because all of us, and I think I could say all of us, when we're doing something, we want to feel like we're accomplishing something. So sometimes, if let's say you're going to the gym every day, you don't see results every day. If you're studying for a degree or studying towards passing an exam, every time you study, you may not get that excitement or that reward, but we want that excitement. Sometimes even something as simple as ironing in the night versus ironing in the morning. Ironing in the night, well, I'm not really getting to put on the clothes one time. It had no real excitement. But when I do it in the morning, I get to put it on one time. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's almost like, I'm not sure if I'm connecting it right here, but they like to call it instant gratification, I think, these days. So it's an interesting perspective. I still sort of lean on being consistent, having that long-term goal. Although you're not going to get that goal immediately or even in the short term, but working towards. I'm kind of old school, kind of traditional, to be honest, Johansi.
Yes, and the thing is, Ryan, I agree with you. Now, part of why I'm discussing this is because some people, I realize, and this happened maybe a week, 2 weeks ago with a group of students I was having a talk with, that they don't even understand what goes on in their own mind, why they want instant gratification versus leaning towards endurance. And even some people had the thought that the rush, the last minute, the doing it the day before versus preparing 2 weeks before is actually more show of strength than being able to endure. And when I broke it down to them, that is like an endurance runner to run, let's say, a marathon, right? It takes a certain degree of mental fortitude versus running a sprint. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other, because somebody running a sprint still has to be training every day towards that sprint. But most people only really enjoy the sprint because, and for some people, and I'm using the words verbatim, that's when they come alive. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I'm going to try to break it down very quickly. So yes, you're absolutely right. The sprint, if you look at the Olympic Games, let's just take the Olympic Games for the 100-meter event is one of the most popular events at the Olympic Games. And then you have the marathon, which is a few hours, calls for slower. But you're so right in the sense that it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of effort. It may be slower. The pace may be a lot slower when it comes to running a marathon, and we're both not talking about a marathon here, but the pace is a lot slower. But the requirement of energy and strength and mental fortitude is also as great as running fast, is also as great as running a 100-meter race. And we're not talking about racing here, by the way, and I know that our viewers know that. So my point is, and I know your point is as well, that your long-term vision, what you would like to accomplish in the long term, yes, it might take a little bit longer, but you have to also be stronger mentally to actually go on to accomplish this. Tell me your thoughts.
Correct. And I'm going to say something that is quite cliched, which is the journey is more important than the destination. We hear it a million times. But the truth is, if we continuously seek the destination, and let me clarify, I'm not saying we shouldn't have goals, we should always have goals. But if we always seeking the destination and despising the process, despising the journey, then what will happen is burnout, because that excitement you're looking for all the time, that is not something that could be sustained. That adrenaline rush, that feeling of what people say they become alive when they study last minute for a test, or they have to rush doing something. That is not something that is sustainable.
I have less than a minute, Johansi, and I do want to stick in a question for you. As you know, I like you to give advice. I think I quite respect you, as you know this. But I do want to ask you some advice on behalf of the population. How would you advise people who are enduring, who have been working hard for a long time, but they can't get to their goals or accomplish their goals as yet? They feel tired, exhausted, burnt out. What will be your advice to them on this Thursday morning?
One, ensure that what you're enduring through is something that you really want. Because sometimes we endure for stuff that we think people want. We still trying to please our parents, people around us, etc. But we really don't want to do it in our heart of hearts. So that's one. And then two, investigate and question the method by which you do it, because sometimes we end up working hard instead of working smart, and we kind of going one step forward, one step behind, because the method is no longer applicable in this context.
All right, Johansi Ayadike, always appreciate talking to you on a Thursday morning about mental health. Can't wait to see you next time, my brother. You take care. Have a great day.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Behavioral change consultant Johansi Ayadike talking to us about a very important question that we all have to consider in our lives. Do we want to power forward, or do we want to endure the race? Stay with us here on The Morning Brew. When we come back, a familiar face returns to the brew.
Quality food to fill you.
Hey, pretty lady. I see you looking for some hot sauce. Boy, move it. I have a man. See you. So you don't want no mother-in-law?
Attention valued shoppers, we are thrilled to celebrate 34 amazing years with you, our loyal customers. A huge congratulations to all our winners.
Hey, don't make joke. I know we're not shopping spree.
Snacks we buying, mommy.
Look, boy, come on, eh? Well, look how I just win a Caribbean getaway now. Rock back. Here I know we're not shopping spree. Well, come on, help me now. You don't have a man? Later. Nah.
It's Southern Food Basket's 34th anniversary extravaganza from July 1st to August 31st. Shop and enter for a chance to win incredible prizes, Caribbean getaways, staycations, shopping spree, and the ultimate grand prize of a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara.
Ready to turn heads and steal the spotlight? Then head to Rosari Bridal Couture, your all-in-one fashion destination for every celebration. From stunning bridal lehengas to simple everyday shalwas, sparkling jewelry, affordable kids wear, stylish Muslim clothing, and even puja essentials, we've got it all under one roof. Get free footwear with any bridal outfit and get free matching bangles with kids wear. Need the perfect fit? Our in-house tailor is here for you. We're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just take the Southern Highway to Brentwood, Chaguanas and call 723-9099 for more info. Rosari Bridal Couture, where fashion meets celebration, all inclusive.
Low energy? Heart concerns? Migraines slowing you down? It's time to take control of your health. Join Wellness Unlocked, the series that brings expert advice and real solutions for a healthier you. In our latest episode, learn how Jameson CoQ10 can help support heart health, boost energy, and even reduce migraines. Get the science, the stories, and the steps to power up your health with CoQ10. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on CNC3 and start your wellness journey today.
I'm looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw material.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Years ago, I sat on this Morning Brew set for the very first time. And it was just an opportunity. Hema Ramkissoon gave me that opportunity. I had differing interests in economics, news and current affairs, and she said, why not? Just give it a try. And that try would turn into being her auxiliary for a number of years, and now I've returned here today. Hema Ramkissoon, welcome back to the Morning Brew. It's so great to have you here.
You're going to make me cry and walk down memory lane.
Well, you should cry, because a lot of what I've achieved over the last 10 years has been because of the foundation base that you would have helped me build.
Well, thank you for that, Brian.
And then now you've moved on. A lot of people have followed your career in great detail. What has Hema Ramkissoon been up to post-media career?
Quite a lot, but I just want to also say Ryan is one of the hardest working people that I know, so thank you for the kind words, but I would never take away from all that you have contributed.
You're being modest.
to your career development. So a lot has happened in the last 6 years. I've entered the world of corporate, and now I'm currently serving as the head of marketing at the Unitrust Corporation, a job that I love, a leadership team that I loved. I was at Angostura for about 3 years, and I worked in Guyana. And in between all of that, I had a son. He's now 2, ruling my life. So if you don't follow me on social media, my life has changed quite a lot.
Journalism is a little bit infectious, though, because, you know, they say once a journalist, always a journalist. How have you found, has it been difficult to snap that journalism bug?
You know, what I can tell you is God will let you know when to move. But I think the foundation that you have as a journalist will always influence your life. So the ability to stand up and speak anywhere is always it's a career advantage. The ability to present quickly on your feet and gather your thoughts and not be easily moved. And the ability to tell stories. The ability to stand before a board and sell an idea. It really comes from the foundation that you've learned. So I think the principles, and I may not be in front of a camera, but the actual fundamentals of what made you a journalist is applicable in everyday life.
And one of those programs that you have been leading at UTC, in terms of the marketing of it anyways, the Scale Up TT and Exposition program.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So Scale Up started a couple of years ago under our executive director, Nigel Edwards, who realized that we talk a lot about financial empowerment. We talk about the businesses of Trinidad and Tobago and wanting to see them enter into the ownership structure of stocks and equities and bonds. And we talk about the everyday investor. But we really needed to put some work into our promise. So this is a collaboration between EPA, which is an international organization. You're exposed to the adjunct professorship of persons like Professor Dan Eisenberg, who come in for this intense 3-month program. And bringing back to your question, Scale Up is really allowing businesses with a growth mindset to scale up. And our eventual hope and wish is that the 30+ companies who have passed through this program will list on the stock exchange, and we continue, as UTC talks about, not just financial empowerment, but truly giving Trinidad and Tobago companies the possibility of true growth.
Can some of these businesses apply, or have you guys selected these businesses for this cohort?
So there is a selection criteria. You must have a revenue stream of a certain amount, and you must be incorporated in Trinidad and Tobago. You must also have an employee base of 10 to 12. But it's not only based on just black and white criteria. As you know, everyone, we talk about, you just now had a conversation about endurance and consistency. Sometimes you may have a pitch that can truly fly. And there are a number of programs within the UTC umbrella which will allow any business to enter, whether you're not at the scale-up stage or you're at another stage. We can assist you in that growth. It really is, and the stories of success have been amazing. 30+ companies, 420 million plus generated, and companies talk about the reduction in lead time. They talk about new deals. They talk about finding new export markets. Just going in and taking a deep dive into your business, and a lot of companies at the end of this say, I didn't think about it that way. One company, and simple innovation, one company told us they reduced their supply chain from 3 weeks to 1 week. And in the world of business, that's a multiplier effect on money and savings, which will impact positively on their growth trajectory.
Sounds like a really good initiative, especially for SMEs.
Yes, it is, and it's geared specifically to the SME sector. We are at cohort 5, and this is also done because the Ministry of Trade, now the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, has been an active partner facilitating the growth of this program, and we're hoping to continue. These are all local companies that have truly put themselves down, beaten the metal, as they say, and have given the testimony of what this program can do. And we are celebrating the graduation of Cohort 5, which will be next week, Friday. And to do that, we thought we would give a little more to Trinidad and Tobago. So we're having an exposition where you enter into the world of scale-up. So when you graduate from this program, you're now entering this entrepreneurial ecosystem. And we're inviting members of the public to come and see the 30-plus companies, come and hear about it, but also giving these companies a space to interact with the public. Because when Unitrust Corporation talks about assisting you and holding your hand, we understand that we need to also innovate the way that we're doing that as well.
This is going to be at C3 Center. Can you give us the date and time?
So it's happening next week, Friday. We're inviting the public from 12, which is noon. We're wrapping up at about 6 p.m. It's free to all entering. It is at the C3 complex, La Rev, which my French may be a little off, but it means like opportunity and promise. And when you talk about scale up, it is an opportunity, it is a promise, it is the opportunity to growth. And we see it as that.
Hey, Maram Kisun, great to have you back on The Brew.
And always a pleasure. And Ryan, again, I continue to say thank you to you and to CNC3 for supporting this. I think Guardian Media is coming on as one of our partners. So we do need to partner with the media in spreading the word of this program. And if you want to find out more, scaleuptt.com is the website to visit.
From midday next week, Friday, that's July 25th, at C3 Complex. Be sure to check out Scale Up TT and the exposition that follows it, that program at C3 down south. Let's take a break here on The Morning Brew. We'll be right back.
Something here for everyone, from baby to adult. Anything you need, it is right here at Food Basket Super 99.
Food Basket Super 99, affordable and trendy. Food Basket Super 99 Arima, where fashion meets affordability.
Okay, I see you. Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off. Let me see you kick right, now kick left, now step forward, now step back. Lucasade, bring the energy.
The biggest business-to-business event of the year is here. The Trade and Investment Convention, July 17th to the 19th at the Center of Excellence, Macoya. It's the Caribbean's biggest business-to-business with over 300 amazing exhibitors from Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the world. Register to attend for free at www.ttma.com/TIC. Connect, discover, grow at TIC 2025.
Asafa Powell, the Jamaican sprinting icon who shattered the 100-meter world record and redefined the limits of human speed, reveals the relentless drive that fuels his journey.
You got Excel? This good for your giants, them.
Try Omega XL. It works.
Jason Williams has wrapped up his tour of the Bahamas at Kanto's 40th conference. He brings us his final report this morning.
Updates from the 40th Kanto Conference, sponsored by Flow and Liberty Business.
Jason Williams on location here at the Grand Hyatt Bahama in Nassau, Bahamas. And certainly today the curtains come down on Kanto 2025 with a commitment to foster industry collaboration for public and private sector development. Let's hear more from some of the key stakeholders.
The takeaways that I'm hoping for from Kanto, it would be three things, and I call it VCC: value, collaboration, and capacity. For value, of course, being here is very important. For collaboration with regulators, the ministers, operators, and even vendors. And of course, capacity is ensuring that we build up the capacity of our people.
Kanto is a platform to really bring that, us as telecom operators together in the Caribbean, and that's really, it is already rooted in it, but it's still for 2025 going to be why we came, why we were the head sponsor, and why we will, what we're going to take away is that piece of the togetherness.
The biggest takeaway from Kanto 2025 is the collaboration that this platform brings between all of the stakeholders. Lots of business is going to get done, lots of networking, and of course the content. We have been dealing with everything from AI and artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, to network infrastructure, federated cloud. So we've been covering the topics. So every participant here will get an opportunity to go back with a handbook, as you would say, or a playbook, so that they can go back to their countries, their respective countries, and participate in the ICT dialogue there.
As you know, artificial intelligence is a hot topic. AI expert Leslie Lee Fook from Inca Services shared some of his thoughts.
Well, the future is not cast in stone, so I want to make that clear. But if you look at what's happening today, if you look at the trends, stuff is happening in the biggest companies in the world today. They're basically adopting a lot of AI, a lot of automation, a lot of AI analytics use, and they're cutting staff. If you look at the big tech companies, 3 days ago, Microsoft laid off 15,000 people, right? And that's one of the most profitable companies in the world today. So what's going to happen with us? Because we're not using the technology to be globally competitive. We still have a lot of old, slow processes. How are we going to globally compete?
So there you have it. Kanto 2025 delivered on its mandate to engage key stakeholders around the region and global village to take the collective ideas shared so that they can translate into meaningful action that will enhance our digital and technological capacity. I am Jason Williams bidding you farewell from Kanto 2025 here at the Grand Hyatt, Bahama, Nassau, Bahamas.
Updates from the 40th Kanto Conference, sponsored by Flow and Liberty Business.
Thank you very much, Jason, for all of your reporting on the Kanto 40th Conference that happened in the Bahamas. Jason Williams will be back here tomorrow, and I know I said that yesterday, so in case you see me here tomorrow, it's not personal. But it's such an important conference in many regards in how the Caribbean moves ahead with technology. So thank you again, Jason, for all of your reporting. Let's head to our Omega XL segment, and I'll be back after that.
The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth.
Ever pondered how remarkably adaptable our brain is, and how diverse circumstances can reconfigure its structure and function? This process is called neuroplasticity, a symbol of our brain's resilience and adaptability. Whether it's dealing with PTSD or partaking in calming meditation, our brain can transform its makeup. Neuroplasticity is key in showing our brain's remarkable versatility. Now let's delve into how these conditions alter the brain's landscape. Emotional trauma from post-traumatic stress disorder overactivates the amygdala, impacting the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, leading to emotional reactions and memory problems. Strokes disrupt brain blood flow, impacting speech and muscle control. Alcohol use disorder affects the hippocampus, creating memory issues. Alzheimer's disease interferes with neuron communication, causing memory loss. Migraines affect brain matter due to nerve sensitivity. Brain injuries from concussions cause lasting damage. Bipolar disorder arises from neurotransmitter imbalances, causing mood swings. Multiple sclerosis scars nerves due to immune system attacks. ADHD affects attention network's function. Despite these challenges, there's hope. Activities like meditation increase gray matter, reducing inflammation. Regular exercise improves blood flow and brain cell growth, enhancing cognition. Indeed, our brain is not a static entity, one constantly changing and adapting to different conditions. While some conditions are beyond our control, we can foster brain health. mindfulness meditation, regular physical exercise, and dietary supplements can enhance cognitive functions. They improve focus, memory, and mental stamina, providing essential nutrients for your brain. Striking a balance is key. One should not overshadow the other. Your choices significantly impact your brain health. Every choice you make can contribute to a healthier brain.
The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
So I hear Beta Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you gonna do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive! Oh, a spice rack.
Soft closed door hinges. Oh, this countertop's nice, well. It's hot,
So, what do you think?
Well, this
100%.
is it. I'll take it.
Build the kitchen you love for less at Beta Homes, Caroni or French Street.
I'm looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw material.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
Ready to turn heads and steal the spotlight? Then head to Rosari Bridal Couture, your all-in-one fashion destination for every celebration. From stunning bridal lehengas to simple everyday shalwas, sparkling jewelry, affordable kids wear, stylish Muslim clothing, and even puja essentials, we've got it all under one roof. Get free footwear with any bridal outfit and get free matching bangles with kids wear. Need the perfect fit? Our in-house tailor is here for you. We're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just take the Southern Highway to Brentwood, Chaguanas and call 723-9099 for more info. Rosari Bridal Couture, where fashion meets celebration, all inclusive. Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Shot, where we talk sport up to the hour to 8 o'clock. This morning we talk football, well, not football really, but we have football in the back page, but we talk cricket. And of course the 27 is the number of the